Okay. I'm going to raise my volume a little here. So, of course, we invite you to find that comfortable position in the chair, setting aside any items from your lap, setting aside anything that might distract you. And just begin by allowing your shoulders to relax, because so many times we hold tension in our shoulders. So just let your shoulders relax and drop, although you want to be sitting reasonably erect, to hold yourself in an alert position, being relaxed but aware. And so just notice if there's any tension anywhere in the body. Breathe into those areas or that area. If not, just continue to tell your whole body to relax. And now I invite you to take 3 belly breaths, breathing down so deeply that the belly expands as you breathe in. So breathing into the belly, allow the belly and the chest to fill with air. And then gently exhale fully and completely. And then do that 2 more times at your own pace. And on that 3rd breath, exhale with a sigh. Ah. And allowing the breath to find a natural rhythm. Be aware of the movement of the body as you breathe. Be aware of the sensation of the breath coming in through the nose, down the throat, into the chest, and out again. Feel the movement of the breath. You may even notice the beating of your heart. For as we bring our attention inward, our attention naturally goes to the heart, to the area of the physical heart, but even greater, the energy field of the heart that extends not only past the physical heart, but also way past the physical body. And then bring to mind someone that you love without any conditions or limitations. A beloved family member, a dear friend, a pet, someone that loves you, and you know that you will love them no matter what they do or don't do, no matter what happens between them, between you and them, that you will always love them and care about them. As you think about this person, or maybe more than one, notice the energy shift in your heart. You may actually feel your heart field expanding. And now hold yourself in that same energy, telling yourself silently, I love and accept myself as much as I love and accept this other person or this pet. And no matter what I have done or not done, I am always loved by divinity, by the divinity within me, the divinity that I am as a spiritual being, can allow myself to fully accept, embrace, and approve of myself. Let those thoughts be your thoughts if you agree with them. Notice if there are any conflicting emotions or thoughts. If so, remember that those are not your highest thoughts. They are ego thoughts of self-rejection. Your higher self is who you are and loves all aspects of you, including your human experience. Your actions and reactions, or lack of actions. You always deserve to give and receive love. You are divine love in expression, created by love. So I invite you just to take a few moments in the silence now to say again to yourself with new understanding and intention, I love myself as much as I love this beloved that I love unconditionally and will always love no matter what. And I now hold that and embrace that acceptance for myself. Imagine the warm embrace of divine love enfolding you now. Knowing that there is nothing that you can do to stop yourself from being loved. You are loved eternally. You are the expression, the embodiment of all-encompassing divine love. Take a breath again, let that sink in. And now open your heart to send that energy of healing, harmonizing divine love into every area of your life, your health, your activities, your finances, your relationships. Declare that activity of divine love in every aspect of your life, bringing harmony, well-being, and peace. And now extend that love and peace out to the world. You may want to hold up your hands, pointed with your palms away from you, sending out divine love to all beings, all life on our planet. And now take another deep breath. Bring your hands back over your heart. And I invite you to affirm for yourself, I freely give and receive all-encompassing love. And so it is. Amen. Inviting you now to bring your attention and your energy to your eyes. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And give a loving smile to those on the screen.
Thank you, Reverend Virginia. That was beautiful.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Diane. I sent questions. Do you get them? Okay, very good. So before we start, I want to know how everybody's doing. Starting with Diane.
Okay. Now can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
How am I doing? I'm doing good. I just came from a Zoom meeting, Christmas gathering where we did a Family Feud game, and it was fun from Kinship. So I had to kind of jump off of that one to jump onto this one, which is nice that I didn't have to drive somewhere. So I'm trying to look at the positive about having to do this stuff on computers. I have one little boy that's homesick with a cough. Luckily, he only has a cough, not the COVID, so I'm blessed there. Life is good. We're healthy enough, which is really great. So I'm happy.
Thank you. Cherry.
I'm sorry. Oh. Did you want me to unmute?
Yes, I need you to, I want to know how you're doing.
Oh, I'm just slightly unsettled because this one has jumped. She just jumped off the couch. How am I doing? Okay, I have to tell you, it does not serve me to go one day without my practice.
What practice is that?
My toning, my meditation, my whole practice. It does not serve me to miss a day. Today's
okay.
a good.
Okay, thank you. Irma.
All in all, it's good. But I do realize that I do not stay as long in my higher self as I would like to be. And then I fall back down, so to say, down into the lower consciousness or into the ego, where I do judgment and I, fight myself there, judging myself mostly. So it's going to be the question I will ask. So.
Okay, thank you. Lisa.
My buttons got pushed pretty badly this morning, so I've been pretty upset and feeling victimized, I guess is a good word, because of different construction electricians and things that's happening that are beyond what I understand, and I'm just trusting that they know what they're doing, and then instead they're screwing everything up. So I'm been in a pretty bad mood this morning.
Okay, thank you. Penny.
I have highs and lows for various reasons, but feeling nostalgic today, in particular. 3 months from 3 months from today, or 3 months ago today, my mom passed away. So it seems like every month when that date comes along, 15th comes along, I get a little bit more nostalgic, but it's okay because I'm I try to embrace it and make it a positive experience. And doing okay. Looking forward to, I'm doing okay.
Okay,
Doing okay.
thank you, Penny. Charlotte.
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to see all of you, and I'm able to participate.
Yay.
Life is good.
Good. We had missed you.
Yes, I've missed you guys too.
Barbara.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think, oh God, I hate, knock on wood, think that my stomach problems are actually finally getting better. It's been a long time, and that makes me happy. So, yeah, and I just realized I sold a painting at auction, and it brought so much more money than I thought it would bring. I was just flabbergasted, which was really good, because I remember last month I was saying, look, I need this amount of money to pay for the repairs for my houses. I had some, roof, plumbing. I mean, they're just a fortune. And actually, this check that I got from the auction house really covers everything, which
Wow.
I had no idea that would happen. I didn't sell it for that reason. I just sold it because I had it in a darn closet, and it seemed like a stupid thing to do with a painting. So it's kind of funny how that works. So I'm kind of juiced about that. That's pretty good. It didn't happen when I thought it would happen. I mean, the money, but it did actually happen about a month later. It's cool.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Donna.
I'm okay, and I'm blessed that we have this class. I missed it last week, and I was out of my routine because I was out of town, and it's hard to be in the routine when you're, with millions of other people. So right. I'm glad to be back and in a regular routine.
Did you get to see it on the replay?
I did listen to the class from last week. Yes, I did. So
okay.
I'm grateful for that too.
Okay. Thank you. Virginia. Unmute.
I'm working at it. Some moments I feel like I'm hanging by my nails, and some moments I'm high as a kite with spiritually. So up and down a bit, but grateful. And I agree with you about Sherry. I have to have practice every day. I am meditating more, which I have to do. I can't not do it. So.
Okay, thank you. And I'm not here or there. I'm basically mostly sleeping lately, which is unusual for me. So it feels, because I'm not so used to sleeping, what everybody's hours they sleep. So whenever I sleep more than what I'm used to, I feel tired. It works on reverse for me. The more I sleep, the more tired I feel. 3-4 hours sleep, I'm fine. Anything past 5 is more like, oh my God, somebody, throw me a bucket of water or something, because I don't want to get up. So, but I mean, if that's my highest complaint, I mean, come on. I'm doing really good. So I wanted to, I was gonna go into this big lesson today again, and I cannot do that because we have not reviewed anything. And I have been just throwing stuff at you and throwing it in every class. I've been throwing a lot of stuff. I mean, there has not been one class in the past 4 classes or 5 or forever, really, where I didn't throw something at you that and didn't have time for you to absorb. So I am going to ask you to share your first question with me, Donna. Please pay attention. Wait. Please pay attention to what Donna is saying because I'm not going to be answering this. You are.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. My question is, when and if or when we're in a higher vibration, why do energy vampires, why are they able to overpower us?
Can you repeat that in a different way?
Yes. I'm come out of a class, one of your classes. I'm feeling terrific. I'm high energy, high vibration, high frequency. And then I go in and watch the news and it zaps everything right out of me. Or my husband will be in a lower vibration, really low vibration, and that will zap that right out of me. That's what I'm asking about. So how or why is that vampires, the energy vampires, are able to overpower us like that so easily?
Okay, Sherry, please answer that.
Well, it's kind of funny because I have that as one of my questions.
Irma?
I had kind of the same question, but not exactly with the vampires at the end, but it's my own vampire inside of me that brings me to the other state again.
Okay. Diane?
I think it's because we allow it. We let ourselves open up to having that done. I mean, I'm guilty.
Okay. If we allow it, then the question is, how do we,
Not allow it.
Right.
One of the techniques I had been taught from a long time ago was to visualize before you go into a dysfunctional relationship, which I have had plenty, is putting a barrier across and above, just like we do when we do the energy and we flush and feed it to the robot or we clean the energy. You put an actual barrier, just like a duck has water that runs right off of the duck. You want to do a barrier around yourself that allows that when that negativity starts coming towards you, it just runs right off. It's easier said than done, I will admit, because like I said, there's times when the TV's on in the bedroom or even here when I listen to the news and it's aggravating. It's like, turn it off. It's harder to turn the husband off, I will admit. But as far as the dysfunction,
right. Thank you.
I like that idea.
Charlotte, what do you say?
Well, I thought the same thing, that you on some level have allowed it to get into you. And I always try to protect myself every day from negative energies. But you also, if it's a repeated thing, you would need to look at why you're allowing that into your field. And see if there's a reason, especially with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Charlotte. Lisa?
Well, what Charlotte said, the only thing that I was going to say is it's my understanding that the analysis is paralysis, that when we start asking why and getting into the analysis, that isn't necessary to understand. That's the mind taking over. So but I like the idea of putting the barrier around and just of deciding, if I know that TV stimulates and creates that kind of reaction, to avoid watching the news or avoid watching TV.
That's impossible for me, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay, thank you. Penny?
I really don't have anything to add. I think I think of that what Diane was saying, the shield, the barrier. When I used to walk through the nursing home, there was a lot of energy zapping there, and I put the golden egg over me. I used to put the egg, let the egg fall, drop the golden egg drop over me as I walked down the hall, and that did help. Until and my mom's room was way at the end of the hall, so at the end of the building, so I had a lot of energy vampires there to contend with. So it did seem to help if I remembered to do it early before I got too far into the building.
Thank you. Virginia.
I don't really call that energy vampires. To me, there's a different thing. But I do think that, you're in this high vibration, and then you bump up against a low vibration. And if we aren't aware of it happening, before you know, you're sucked into their vibration. So as far as the news goes, I've gotten to a place of non-attachment. I can watch the news without freaking out anymore. I won't say that I don't feel some shift of emotion a little bit, but I don't get like screaming at the TV. So I just go, okay, it is what it is. And and first of all, I watch minuscule, like a news summary, and that's it. And so that if there's anything important I want to know about, I can. But it's really, if you understand that, we're going through this transition time and things are crazy, and, it's always been this way, really. So it's just like, don't be upset over the ups and downs on the news is one. And then when I find if I'm feeling peaceful and everything and come in contact with somebody who's not at peace, then one of the things I can say is, bless you, bless that person, because if they're out of their balance, then I can affirm them coming into their balance and know also that their energy is not my energy, but it's all about being aware that that it's changed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Barbara?
Well, I'm not sure I believe in that concept of energy vampires, so-called. I find that when I get into a low energy, it's because I've bought into something. I have a choice whether to buy into what they're selling, so-called, or being, or not. And if I can't seem to control myself, then I have to walk away from it. But I did have an experience not too long ago where I had a realization about that, which leads me to believe that it's actually coming from me. I was out with, Dave, my ex, yes. And we were doing something, I've forgotten what, but and at the end of it, I came home, I just felt totally like, I don't know, sad and drained and, all that stuff. And I thought, well, I better not see him anymore. I better not, be around him anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then I sort of looked within myself and I realized the reason that I felt that way is because when I'm with him, I fall into the old patterns that I exhibited for 7 years. So they've been there for quite a while. And, it's like, and then of course it doesn't go the way it would go if we were still in the same relationship. We have a very different relationship. So that kind of drain of energy and sadness and depression comes because I fall into that old pattern and I need to change that pattern. It has nothing to do with him. He's being like he is, like he wants to be, which I agreed to. So I can't really blame him for it. It's actually me I have to look at to establish a different mindset that's more congruent with actually what's happening now.
Okay, thank you. As far as I see things, everything is a choice. Choice. I allow, I don't allow, I permit. Why would I want to, if I'm not gonna get upset, why would I watch the news? Why is it that I have this pervasive need to watch something that I know is going to upset me? I mean, what is it that he has to tell me that that I cannot do without? Or what is it? Is it life-saving? Is it, you know,
No.
what is it? That's as far as the news is concerned. I can't blame somebody else for my lack of energy. I'm also trying to know when I'm being drained. And sometimes it has happened so fast that I didn't realize it. But at the same time, I know who the energy vampires are, or somebody else puts it, lower vibration beings or relatives or whatever, people you run against or people in your direct line in your own home, and that's okay because we all have them. So why would I allow myself to be controlled, to allow myself to I am bringing myself down in vibration. I'm allowing that, it must serve a purpose for me to feel victimized. Listen to what I'm saying. It must serve that I feel victimized because it is familiar, because it also serves a purpose. I am gaining something. Maybe the chemicals that I used to feel when being under that influence. Maybe my wanting to play the role of victim, that I cannot, and this person always brings this and that and the other, and this is what this relationship means to me. You are just putting limits on what a relationship means to you. That's not the truth. The value that you give a relationship is you're doing or you're not doing, because it's all coming from you. It's not coming from the other person. So when we say, okay, today I feel good, today I don't feel good. That's how come I went through everybody. How are you feeling today? First is choice. Number one is choice. It's not because of this or that or the other, but how many of us in this group said today that we were not up to par for whatever reason, XYZ? More than half of us. So the excuse is there. The reason is there. Like I said, no excuses, but it serves a purpose. And what I would ask you to do is look at what that purpose is. What is it that is serving for you to feel this way?
And if it's not,
even if it's you yourself doing it to you, what is that serving? It could be because my husband, because my mom, because my dad, because the dog, because the cat hit on me, whatever. Okay. But you're saying, okay, I am behaving this way, and I allow myself to be in these low vibratory rates because of this particular circumstance. Okay. Your husband might be asleep or might be in the bathroom or whatever, and you're having all this emotional playings going on. It's the drama going through.
Yeah.
And you're playing that in your head. And there's nothing wrong with that, only that if you're going to do that, please bring the witness with you.
Yeah.
The witness is going to bring a clarity on you that you don't know. What if Okay, what does this give me an opportunity to do now that I have a clearer understanding that my husband is not doing XYZ, or that I didn't do this value system to this particular relationship. You know, if it's us attacking us, there's a reason. It's not just happening because we just love to beat up on ourselves. It's because we might be addicted to the chemicals. Because if I get into a certain position, if I do different things, it provokes my body to release things that I'm addicted to. Okay. And I'm not talking just about, I'm not saying be discompassionate with you. I'm asking you first to be compassionate. Be compassionate with you. Number one, before you start punching yourself because you did or you didn't allow, or because you have or you didn't have. No. Rule number one, be compassionate with yourself. Compassion.
Yeah.
This goes for compassion. How do you know to do the, how do you avoid that? So what do you think, Donna?
All of this has been really, really wonderful. But I am allowing it to happen, that I can see.
Right. But how do
It
you?
serves a purpose. I mean, it serves a purpose, but I have to be aware of what that purpose is. I have to observe and figure out, it's my story. Like you were talking about your story last week with your trip with your friends. You have this, I have this built up in my head. If this is the way it's supposed to be, and it doesn't work that way, then that's what causes all this to happen, the chaos to happen. But everybody has a story,
It's the story, and it's the value that we give this. It's not just the story, it's the value we give the story.
Yeah.
And the value that we give is really not truly the value that it is.
Right.
So we will be talking a little bit about that later. Thank you, Donna.
This is great, Angie, by the way. This is great to do this. It's very helpful. Thank you, everyone, for that.
Thank you. Barbara. Question.
Yes.
One question.
Yes. Oh, one question. Yeah, I just thought of one, and I thought I had some notes on it. That's why I was frantically looking, but I can't find anything. Anyway, I remember one time when you, and I can't remember exactly the context, but you said something like, and I may have this wrong, that forgiveness is not necessary. Did you say that? And like I said, and I remember I thought, well, oh, it kind of startled me. And then I don't remember what else that was about, but every once in a while that sort of comes back to me. And so I wanted to ask you, maybe again, because with the Course in Miracles, it's all about forgiveness.
Right, but at the end, at the very end, the Course in Miracles tells you there's no need for forgiveness.
It doesn't really,
you have to remember that. You cannot just take part of the course and take the other half and say, no, that doesn't apply.
I don't know where it says that you don't need to forgive in the course.
Anybody has read that? Yeah, we all have.
It says there's no need for forgiveness for you because God never judges. The problem is that we are not. So we are God, but we're not aware that we are, so that we do judge. I do all the time.
Okay, now you're including what a lot of people are misquoting, calling it the human factor. That's where I disagree with a lot of people going with the Course in Miracles, because there's nowhere in the Course in Miracles that it says, and now on the other hand, and the human factor is. There's no such thing in the Course in Miracles. I don't know who introduced that in there, but there's no such thing as the human factor. The Course in Miracles is very, 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 very strict on how it's worded. But let me go back to the original question from you, Barbara. Then there's no need for forgiveness, okay? And let me tell you the reasons. In order to forgive, you have put yourself in a judgment person as a judge, an executioner, and put the other in as a victimizer, as a victim and victimizer. Somebody declare you a victim. In order for you to forgive, you have to be playing the victim role. Yes or no?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I would say that's true because often for me, yeah, I feel an attack when it really isn't an attack, but you know, it kind of as Roswila said, push buttons.
Okay, but I mean, the idea that I'm not saying people don't seem like they're attacking you or attacking somebody, or just remember that there's a lot of projection going on with people. And when we see them as really attacking, it's according to where we're at.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, I said it's not, yeah, and according to how we perceive that. So why would I need to forgive somebody who is fighting their own demons?
Well, if I were conscious enough, I'd realize that at the time. Unfortunately, it seems to be that at the time when I get upset with a situation or someone, I kind of forget that.
Okay, so instead of looking at the other person, you need to look at you.
I know. That's what I said. It's uncomfortable while I'm in it, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, but however, there's choices. Do I really want to remain there, or do I want to get myself out of there?
I just rather not go there in the first place, frankly, but it doesn't
right. But I mean, since we brought the subject up, we need to look at it all the way through. How do I not fall into that space? And if I do fall, what is my first response? My first response is acknowledging that I need to look at me. You know, and the first person that I need to forgive is me if I have to do some forgiving. The only forgiving. So you could have compassion towards you.
In other words, forgive yourself.
Right. Donna, what do you add to that, please?
Yes, I believe that forgiveness is coming with us first. You have to forgive yourself first, but which was a hard concept actually for me when I first came into the Course in Miracles, because that was one of the subjects that Mercy had talked about in one of the classes. And she said she got into an argument with her daughter, and she didn't have to tell her I'm sorry, because there is no forgiveness. She didn't have to forgive her for anything. And I was like, what? How could you think something like that? But really it comes down to it's our own judgment, and it is our own forgiveness. In other words, our own humanness that we have to accept and get past. And really, it's not about sending out forgiveness, but rather about sending love. Love out there to the other person, the other situation, whatever it is, starting with ourselves. Love.
Thank you, Donna. Penny. Anything you want to add? It doesn't have to be, you know, whatever comes to mind to you.
Regarding forgiveness. Okay. I found forgiveness to be very helpful to me, but I guess I had to forgive myself first, I guess. But I have found in the past forgiving someone, again, to be very helpful. And now we'll probably be lifelong friends. Close lifelong friends, somebody I've known longer than anybody else other than my relatives, as it turns out. I don't know. I don't know. I still have a little difficulty with not forgiving, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because I had a good experience.
So
I had to be a victim. I understand you having to be a victim to be able, or to consider yourself a victim, or whatever, in order to forgive. So I do see that becomes, I suppose, problematic. But yeah, it depends, I guess, on the situation. I'm just thinking in a very extreme situation in my past life, my past experiences. I guess if you're thinking about things that aren't quite as significant, or I don't know. I'm sorry. I have nothing to add.
it's okay, because we all can say where we're at and what we're looking at. Charlotte.
I like to practice Ho'oponopono, where you say to them, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and then you thank them for giving you this experience.
Okay, and how does that help the person? I know this is a very popular practice going on around, and I want to know how that helps the person you are sending this information to.
Because they feel that energy. They feel that that the love and the forgiveness, and they feel it, you feel it, and it releases it.
Okay, so you do believe in victimization?
Well, no, I hadn't thought of it like that.
Okay. Just a thought. Okay, I mean, it's we're asking you to change your mind, to radically change your mind.
Okay.
You know, this is a different dimension. We're talking about totally radical change of mind, and with a good emphasis on not so much assumptions, value systems, judgment, and victimization. That's what forgiveness implies.
But we're also in our dimension. We're not in the fifth dimension yet. I'm just throwing that out there.
Right, that's what we're learning. I'm teaching you how to, I'm teaching you the tools on how to remain more on your fifth dimension, how to remain more in a higher vibration than making assumptions and making judgments and making you the victim or somebody else the victim, whoever the victim is. And I'm not saying things don't happen, and I'm not saying that people don't do things that are unbecoming, but our judgment on that reflects only on us, on us becoming the judge and the executioner. So this is the reason why I say, okay, let's review this a little bit closer. And I didn't even ask the question, but a lot of us need that right now because we all feel so oppressed, so hapless, so helpless. And when that happens, we have a tendency to point fingers. And had this not happened, I would not have done that, because we still cling to our excuses for doing or not doing things, for feeling discombobulated, or for not wanting to change. Because as long as I keep you in this box where you know, you will not surrender, is an incarceration, but when we do that, we're the only ones that are in that box. Right? Lisa. Your thoughts, please.
Pardon me? What is it, Angie?
I'm asking you to continue the conversation.
What, your conversation?
All of us.
What do you want me to talk about? About forgiveness? What do you want to talk about?
What we were just discussing, yes.
I heard a really good explanation of why forgiveness, it was so simple and yet I can't recall it, but basically it sums up what you were saying, that I think it's a hard concept for people, a lot of us, to understand if we've been raised with, you know, Catholicism, Christianity, because that so indoctrinates a lot of
course, there has to be a way for them to manipulate you, for you to conform to a set of rules. Yeah. Okay, and I'm not saying that the rules were not good or bad or this or that. That's not my place to say that. But what I'm saying is, try not to fall into the victim. That's all I'm trying to convey here, is that, do you really want to be a victim? Do you want to really wait, do you really want to give your power to somebody else? Because that is exactly what you're doing when you become the victim. That's somebody else.
The difficult thing is, for me personally, with what I've been dealing with, is that I trusted, that I let go of a need to really know what was happening and what was going on. You know, I didn't need to know the inside details of how some electricity works or how something's put together. I just trusted that these people that are licensed and experts and all that would take care of doing the right thing. And then, and feeling victimized that they took advantage of me. So I am feeling a victim, and now I'm feeling like, okay, I shouldn't have surrendered my control. I should have allowed myself to learn more about what's going on and to make sure and understand. So again, it's my fault.
But again, responsibility falls on you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. As harsh as that sounds,
oh, it totally does.
It is the truth. So there's really no not blaming somebody else. And like I said, it sounds harsh, and it is harsh, but it is the truth.
No, it is the truth. Yeah, totally the truth.
Okay.
And you know, it's just interesting how allowing our energy to be zapped, whether it's through our own emotions or something we listen to, or it's energy we're around, whatever, we're allowing that to happen. And it just is so obvious to me how my energy shifted from being really high to being really angry, and this zapped me. I was feeling so energized and on top of the world and like I could accomplish anything, to just wanting to go to sleep.
Okay, thank you. Sherry.
26 years ago, when I first got into recovery and did work the 12 steps, I had a really hard time admitting that I had been harmed. Just hear me out for a minute. In order to get to forgiveness. In other words, I was so spiritually numb that I kind of just pretended it didn't happen. And I had to take responsibility for my behavior from what was done to me when I was unable to protect myself when I was young. So to get to forgiveness, I had to admit I had been harmed in some way. And that was really hard for me, but I finally got that. But then, that was 26 years ago, as the years have progressed, there was a time where forgiveness meant, for me, forgiving to God. It was not for me to forgive, it was to put it out to God. Now, I'm at the point where, well, I am God, so I'm giving it to my higher self, that victimization, that I've been harmed, that I've been wronged in some way. I'm giving that to my higher self to see the truth in that.
Okay. Expound on that a little.
When I'm not the observer and I'm reacting and I'm feeling, I'm not in a position to forgive, because I'm holding myself in the state of victimhood, of being harmed, of being wronged in some way.
So what would you be doing that?
Oh, just because there's nothing else to do. No, the truth
Because
is,
you're bored? Are you saying because you're bored?
no, and this is an intimate class, and I don't know some of you, but it feeds into the bucket, the very small thimble now, that I'm not good enough, that I'm guilty, that I'm wrong, and that if somebody has harmed me, then there's something wrong. If I feel that I've been harmed, that there's something wrong with me to be feeling that way.
Okay, I'm gonna change the subject for a moment to address that. Okay, so are you your thoughts? Are you your feelings?
No.
Are you your emotions?
No.
Are you your body?
I wish I wasn't. No, I'm not.
Okay, are you your doings? Pay attention. Are you your doings?
Ooh. You mean, am I?
What you do? Are you what you do?
What I do makes me who I am?
I said, are you what you do?
No.
Okay, so what would you base your value system on?
What goes with my inner grain, my higher.
Well, that has to do with what you do. How
what?
you think, that has to do with what you do. Whether you're thinking it, you're feeling it, you're demonstrating it, you're some action you took, which none of that is you. So how about you qualifying your value?
I don't
If
know.
you're none of those things, how can you be valueless? Pay attention. That goes for all of you. Pay attention. How can you feel less if none of what you do matters? If I tell you no matter what it is you do in this lifetime, it has no value, what would you say?
An expletive.
Okay, yeah. But what if I told you what's the truth?
2 expletives? No, I'm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. And I don't have that answer all the time.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking you this specifically for you in this class is because you're the one that comes over and over with the subject that maybe you're not worthy enough, not good enough, not this enough, not that enough. Where is that coming from, since you're none of those things? Even value has no place in this discussion, but I mean, since you brought it up, I'm addressing it because I think that this is the time to address that on you. And this is not just for you, this is for everybody here, all of us. This is not, it seems like I'm picking on you, but this is for all of us.
I don't feel picked on. I'm used to it. It's a joke. I don't know. This is my my lesson that I'm learning.
Is it a lesson, really? Why would you need a lesson? You're talking about more doing. And that goes for all lessons. I'm not just talking about this lesson. For all the people that said, I must have come to learn this lesson. Okay, I'm throwing things at you today, and I hope that you are picking what I'm saying, because I'm really throwing a lot of stuff at you. So you better pay attention to what I'm saying. This is a very important class.
Well, and then that brings me to your question of the purpose. What is the purpose of feeling this way? What am I getting out of it?
And the answer is?
I don't know. I just wrote it down.
This is Jeopardy, okay? This is Jeopardy. Go ahead.
Get with me next class.
Value.
I guess, you know,
You cannot hide behind that anymore. I'm getting that excuse away from you. That's all I'm doing. Is taking that excuse off the table. It won't work anymore because I just took it out and I just readdressed it. And I'm telling you that it won't work anymore for you.
Oh, lovely. What do I do now?
Okay, bring your witness with you and share how that feels. And I didn't mean to be off topic, but it needed to be addressed because she's addressing things that we all need to look at. We all are addressing things that we all need to look at. It's not individual, even though it seems like, oh, well, she said that, well, she brought that up, well, that's her question. No, it's our question. Okay. So next question. Lisa.
You want me to give you a question?
Question
All
me
right.
and answer.
Well, I have a couple of very simple ones, and maybe they're
No,
not
I
really.
just want one question, not two.
All right. I would like to know the definition of a twin soul.
Of what?
Twin soul.
What?
Twin.
I'm not,
Twin soul. Twin flame. Twin soul.
a twin soul. Okay. That's a very convoluted question because it requires different levels of understanding, and I don't think you have that in order for me to go down the line. But let me just put it in the simplest terms as of this plane of existence, which is going to be with, let's talk about oversouls. And let's talk about, do you know what an oversoul is?
Mm-mm.
It's, let's say Abraham Hicks, Jane, whatever her name was, all your mediums, all your, not mediums, all your channelers, Cryan, Ramtha, I can't think of the names of all of them, but or some of them. We're not talking about one or two people. We're talking about a conglomerate of souls. Okay. A conglomerate of souls create an oversoul. You can have anywhere. You could have up to, or at least 2,000, depending on the soul and the mission on Earth. You can have triads. You can have people with, you know, which make different groups to accomplish different things. However, before any and all of those geometrical configurations of souls, at the very beginning, before the the soul parts begin to take designated groups. There's groups that there's a whole what I call a soul pad, and a soul pad is not the same as an oversoul. The soul pad may have different pairs of twins, and they're all from the same pod, mind you. We're all from the same pod, but when they come to Earth, they come in usually one at a time. Except on times like this, when things are precipitated because the soul twin is not here for a romantic relationship. The soul twin is here to accelerate human development on a major scale. And that's when your twin souls come in more than, we're not talking about soul mates, we're talking about twin souls. People that are generating energy fields in different parts of the world. And because their vibration is at a certain point, they're catalysts. So when people are trapped between, not trapped, but are caught between those two elements of one being in a different space and time, and by time I mean time zones or continent-wise or whatever. When that happens, you are creating magnetic propulsion, magnetic field that is putting a lot of information out there. One of them is the carrier of knowledge, and the other one is the carrier of different things. By the way, this was not in any of my classes, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm sorry, I'm canceling that question. That has nothing to do with my classes. Next. That was not right. Lisa, that's not right. Diane.
There.
Diane.
What is bring our witness with us? I must have missed that part when you talked about a witness. What does bring our witness with us mean?
Means you get out of the way and you allow your spirit to witness what your self is doing. That's what that means. Okay, Sherry. Next question.
Next question. Okay, I've got a lot of material here, you know, and
No, just one question.
okay. Let me get to the right page. Okay. If we are seeking to be in the fifth dimension, to be the observer, to not react, to be more resilient to negativity or ups and downs, why am I not handling it better? If I'm
Because you're not there yet. You're talking about resilience, and resilience is never a part of fifth dimension. Resilience is coming into complete opposition to allowing. Resilience is not what you're trying to look for. You're trying to look for allowance. Allowance is not resilience. Resilience is almost like I really have to really look at all this stuff and get past it. And this is not what you want. What you want is acceptance, and it was an allowance. So the question again was,
how am I still affected, sometimes more so than others, from outside influences if I'm working on being more, I don't want to say the word resilient. In other words, why is it that people I talk to that aren't aware of the fifth dimension or behaving, and they seem just fine and la-di-da. And I'm working on this and observing it, and
because you're not taking it in, you're looking at the people outside that seem to be doing like la-di-da. You need to be looking at you, not out there. So when something happens, it's not your judgment out there. It's you witnessing you.
okay, so then the more I practice my practice and keep holding on to these new realizations, will they at some point have to be let go as well?
What is the day part that you're looking at to be released? What is the day part that you are looking to be released later? I did not quite get that.
Just like I said earlier, in every aspect of my spiritual life, the truth has changed for me over the years.
True.
So what I'm asking is that
would things change again? Yes.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay, because fifth dimension is only one of many. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, 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 ad infinitum. So this is not all there is. This is only the next step.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right. Virginia, what's your question?
Because I had a question about multi-dimensions.
Did we cover that?
Yes, from my notes, we were talking about the quantum field, the field of possibilities.
Okay.
And you said it encompasses all other fields. What are the other fields?
Okay, that's out of context. Can you please provide more information?
Let's see. In the third dimension matrix, we have thoughts and emotions and beliefs that are not ours. They're collective thoughts. We're not our emotions, and go through the whole thing list. It's okay to have opinions, but we're not what we do. We are what we are. It's just our beingness is our truth. So many things are happening that are hard to accept. We may be feeling like we don't belong here. Pay attention, nothing wrong with emotions. They are many aspects of you being stretched. The quantum field is a field of possibilities. It encompasses all other fields. A Course in Miracles says we don't create anything. All creation has already been done. call forth the fifth dimension. When you have a vibrational resonance to it, the third is a level of effort and struggle, but not the fifth. We don't have that in the fifth. Maybe that's not a good question.
What I'm going to say here is the quantum field is not the fifth dimension. Quantum field it's a field for creating, for bringing forth things. In the fifth dimension, you do not create, you just bring forth. Out of it's a field of all possibilities, and out of those is what you're going to be looking at, what you're going to bring forth. So that is the field of possibility, not a field of dimensionality, not a field of multiverses or anything like that. It's only a field of possibilities,
Okay.
infinite possibilities. Was that your question? Okay.
Yeah.
Charlotte? Question?
I had a question about, let me find it here in my notes again. We did sounds for organs with cellular memory.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting that. Can you?
We had talked about sounds for organs with cellular memory.
Okay.
And on the sixth one, it was for the whole body, but I never got the color or the sound that goes with it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get back with you on that because it's
Oh,
not
okay.
something that I just have on my. Can you ask another question instead?
Well, the other one I had, I never did come up with a third one, was about healing sounds and tones. I took notes, but I didn't get all of what I wrote. I didn't totally understand.
Okay.
If you know what date that was, you can go back and listen to the recording of the class.
I don't think I dated it. That was the problem too. Well, I might have. I'll do that. Thank you. I think I know when it was.
Okay.
I think it was October 6th. I have mine dated, Charlotte, but it looks like those notes about the healing sounds was from October 6th.
Okay.
Do
All right.
you have that information with you? I mean, we are sharing as a group.
Are you talking about the answer to her question?
Yeah.
Okay, Charlotte, can you ask that question again?
For the healing sounds and the tones.
Yes.
I didn't understand actually most of my notes.
Okay, then you're gonna need to go back.
I recommend that you go. That you listen to the tape.
You're gonna need to go back and really listen to the class.
Okay.
Okay. Who haven't I asked a question from? Raise your hand, please. Penny.
Okay. Actually, I had a good question come up, but I think I'll go with my first question. Because my good question that came up is going to be too controversial, although I wanted to have an answer to it, but I don't want to get into that here. So, okay, I didn't completely understand your example last week with the going to the beach for a vacation. In that, let me step back. I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to do that with the situation I have with a very good friend of almost 40 years, 30 less, almost 40, I guess. And I know a lot of ego is getting in the way of trying to figure out what I did wrong, what her story is, what my story is. Why am I feeling this significant separation from her right now? What is causing that? And of course I'll keep going back. What did I do to cause this problem in our relationship, and how do I repair it? So I was thinking through your example with your scenario that you had going to the beach, but I guess I didn't exactly understand, because I thought I guess you were saying you were just being the observer of your thoughts and you weren't really analyzing them. Is that it? I mean,
at the beginning, I was wanting to keep my story.
Okay.
Okay, my story according to what I wanted to happen. I have, as long as I know that things are changeable or whatever, way ahead of time, but this was within the next 2 weeks, and I already had made provisions and whatever, and I wanted to keep the script I had, but it was just not meant to happen.
Okay,
And so I got disappointed, and I said, okay, did I come to the realization that just let it go and let it be? And no, I got disappointed, and I was still trying to work my script somehow into it. It's like, could I just let it go and let it be? No, I wanted to, okay, so now instead of 4 people, I had 3, and it's like, okay, how can I make this still fit my script? Who do I need to manipulate here in order for it to be what needs to happen according to my wantings? And I didn't want the specific. I still wanted what I wanted. In this case, let's say that I wanted a specific result from my trip, but it was not meant to happen no matter which way I tried. And it just kept on evolving and changing and evolving and changing. And with each evolution of what happened, I started dropping the story slowly but surely. Okay, okay, this can't happen. Okay. The next thing is, well, that's not going to happen either. Okay. Then it's not going to be as many days. Well, okay. Then it's going to be less days than those. And then the days kept on dropping. Not only the people dropped off, but the days diminished to hardly nothing. So I said, okay, so it wasn't what I was expecting, which in this case, that's what you're looking at, expectations. What expectations of how things should be. You have a long relationship with this person. You have, but
Okay,
again,
but-
you're looking at doings, and you're looking at doings outside of you. Bring it to
Okay,
you.
well then let's take a different spin on it then. How do I? I want to bring this relationship back together. I don't, at least if I have any control at all, I'd like to, I don't know, like we're saying, well, I shouldn't be forgiving but apologizing for something. I don't know what I did. Maybe, and again, maybe there's other things going on.
We're talking about forgiveness again here.
Okay, but that's not really I'm not forgiving her.
No. If you're apologizing, you probably think you did something wrong.
Okay, well then how do I do something here without just saying, oh well, screw it, I don't care about the relationship anymore, it's her, bleh. I care, I want it to be better, I want it to get back together again. So how do I do that? And from this perspective of our class that we have right now, I mean, how do I do that without making myself?
How about telling her the truth?
Telling her that, well, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but then you're kind of saying I'm making myself.
No, the truth is, how do you feel? How important she is to you? What it is you would really want from her relationship? Not what happened. Those are just things that, what truly matters is how you feel about her and how important this relationship is to you. Is that the truth or not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what truly matters?
Right.
I'm not trying to explain what happened and didn't happen. In other words, I'm sorry about what really happened over here, but you know, what I would like to convey to you is that you
But I don't
are,
know what
you know,
happened. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, if I am apologizing, because I don't exactly know what caused
okay, if you
that.
don't want to, okay, if you don't want to apologize, I was just going by
No,
what
I'm not
you said.
saying, but you're saying I really was not supposed to apologize. So I
I
guess,
mean, unless you feel like it, I mean, you don't, there's nothing set on stone because I'm not asking you to do or not do something. I'm just telling you why you should or shouldn't do things. But I'm not jumping the gun into telling you what to do, what you should or should not do. So if you feel like you should apologize because it fits where you're at, your makeup right now. But if it doesn't, then I will say to you, tell her how much you love her, what her relationship means to you.
well, I did kind of do that already in an email to her without saying those exact words. I did it in
Did
kind
you
of,
tell her you love her?
oh, well, yeah, I did. I sent it
Those
to her
words,
in an email with a picture.
in those words.
I said, well, she's my butt sister. I call her my butt sister. That's what we called each other for almost, I don't know how many.
But did you tell her you loved her?
Yes, I did.
You tell her how important she was to you.
Well, I said to her, I'm really going to miss her and her mother this
Don't
year.
make assumptions.
Yeah.
You have to really put your heart where you want that to be conveyed. And if you don't put it in terms that are clear and concise, she won't get it because she will still be too caught up on what happened. Break through the barrier by being loving. Love is the only force that can break through this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking you to be loving. If that is what you want, if that's the way you want to handle this. You know, what I tell you in class is what I know that works, what I know that, but I'm not asking you to live your life according to what I'm telling you. You have to be your own barometer of what that fits in your life. You know, I always say to you that if it fits with you, keep it, and if it doesn't, throw it away. You know, but I cannot tell you what to do or what not to do. And that's not my place.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll think of how I can do this. I feel like I've tried to approach it in several different ways in a loving way without actually coming out and saying I love you. But
why?
maybe it
Why
has
not?
to be more direct.
Why can't you tell her you love her? And to the extent that you love her.
Well, yeah, okay. I haven't said
No,
it.
don't make assumptions that this means that. Say the actual words, I love you deeply. And I care for you, and not having you in my life is breaking me apart. Because that is what is happening.
Mm.
That is the truth. So say that. Why are we so afraid to tell people that we love them? You know, all these barriers and all these things. And it's like, we are loving beings. We came here to be loving. Okay, one last question.
Thank you.
And that will be,
thank you.
Irma.
Okay. I have a question regarding, we were talking about the state of mind, and you were talking about theta waves, and that certain music is helping us to stay in that elevated higher consciousness with the theta waves. Could you elaborate a little bit more about that?
I can't because I didn't understand the question.
I would like to know how to reach the state of theta waves. how can I get myself into theta waves?
Go into YouTube and type theta waves, and it'll pop up, and it can be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours, 8 hours, depending on the times that you want to get into that state. Did you understand what I said?
Yeah. What I did not understand though is what is the function of the theta waves? I would just like to learn a little bit more about, is it a goal that we should reach those waves that are not higher waves? It's the theta waves, and I did what you said, but I still don't understand.
They're not higher waves.
Yeah, it's just waves that
they are the lowest. They are the lowest vibrational hertz. Hertz is a cycle per second. That's what hertz measures. How many cycles per second? So let's say, for example, the Schumann resonance was 7.83 in 2016, 2017. The other day went to 800 and something. Okay. We resonate to the earth resonance. If you think your vibrations are all over the place, it's because they are. From going from 7 to 800 is quite a bit of jump. So the lowest the vibration, the lowest your mind. Let me see, how do I put this? Alpha, there's gamma, alpha, beta, theta, and theta. And all of them, the gamma is the highest. Then you have the beta, which is your what is called the your everyday conscious, supposedly conscious, awake state. Alpha is when you're into a little bit of a daydreaming. You start going into delta, which is your sleep state. Theta is more like a hypnosis trance state. During the night, you go from alpha to theta to, to delta to theta to alpha, delta, theta states. They go anywhere from 8 hertz to 1 hertz, but it depends on the resonance and what you're doing with those hertz and why you're doing it. I'm not exactly sure what your intent is to go into any of these states.
I thought that if I go into a more of this of the theta state, that I have better access or to the divine in the meditation, but I do not know if that is true.
When you go into lower vibratory rate, it's because your body's shutting down. You're in a restful state. You are in a if you want to reprogram your mind, this is for most of your reprogrammers, your psychologists, your therapists, your hypnotherapists. That's where they're gonna go to this specific wave and try to direct or reprogram you from there. But the problem with that, if I was just doing that, is that I'm still changing, I'm still trying to manipulate things. almost like conquer them, and they're under my thumb, and I'm gonna do it because I have the access and the resources and nothing wrong with it, except that if you want to come into a higher state, it's more than waves, because you're not that, you're beyond that. And the lower the hertz, the more that you're influenced by others. When somebody wants to do something subliminal to you, they start using those waves. Let's say in a movie, and they're back to doing that, by the way, the movies and the commercials. There's been so many changes in laws during this administration, that and it started before this administration, by the way, the change, that certain permissions were granted back, so we could be programmed a lot easier at the movies or somewhere else, unless you really want to use this for your own benefit, in maybe affirmations, or you want to do something to reprogram yourself. But before you start that, I will say, please make sure you know what you're doing if you're gonna go in that direction. You know, you have to make sure that you know what you're doing and what it is that you're truly wanting to achieve, and not what you think should happen. Because what your spirit says and what your ego says are not necessarily the same thing. So again, Arma, the ability to get into those states, you need to find, it's already there. You can access it at any time. Just go to YouTube. Okay? All right.
I'd like to share something with that, Angie. I'd like to share that doing the different states of the hertz, as we are so light sensitive and vibrational sensitive individuals, just like when you say, Donna, about how sometimes you could get into a space and you feel it zap your energy or do something to change your energy. As we've become more and more sensitive about how our energy feels and energy around us, even listening to the different hertz music, if you listen or feel with your energy source, I can speak for me. I have felt where certain times I've put music on that used to make me relax or help the kids to relax, instead adds a certain amount of aggravation instead. So Irma, if you're going to do these things, just be aware, because I was not aware at first, and then I realized that certain times, certain music did not do what I wanted it to do. It didn't relax me. It actually sent me the other way. So, you know, there's an awful lot. Like, I didn't realize it went from 7 all the way up to 800, but definitely.
I mean, it goes higher than that. It goes into the thousands and thousands. So no, and the music that you're listening to and the hertz you're referring to is not the same hertz she's referring to. Hertz are very low. Has nothing to do with Sophlegia tones.
Okay.
This is a totally different conversation.
Okay, so it's a different, if you go to like 428, I think this is what you said, the earth.
I mean, we're looking, her question has to do between 1 and 12 hertz. You're going way past.
Okay. So the lower the number, the more closer you are to going into the theta?
No, the lower, once you want to get into the theta, unless you know what you're doing, you know, just go to sleep, okay?
Well, like I said, sometimes I couldn't. It's like the music did not allow me to relax enough to go to sleep.
On theta.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3.
No, I didn't do 1, 2, 3. I did,
No,
like I
I know
said.
you didn't, because you would have been snoring. Yes. Okay. Virginia, anything you would like to add?
Not really, but I do agree that we're more and can be more sensitive to what our vibration is, and we should be constantly aware of where our vibration is.
Okay. I want to raise of hands. How many of you want a class next week? Okay, so that's the majority of us except for 2 of us. So we can have that class tomorrow, next week. We're not done with the 3 questions. We've barely finished the first one. We are going to go with question number 2, so please make sure you have the correct question. And Lisa, behave yourself. Okay, no, I'm trying to remain in things that we already, so we all get a chance to say something. We didn't get to say enough of, like she just asked about the hertz, but we did talk about hertz, and I did talk about delta and theta. I don't know what she thought that had to do with enlightenment or with a higher energetic force. So a lot of times, because we are more relaxed, we think that things are better, and maybe it makes us feel better because we are so relaxed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are more enlightened or more aware. Can you tell us a little bit about meditation, Virginia, where when we are in a certain state, where you feel the most
Bliss.
uplifted?
Me personally, or
Yeah,
anybody?
share to the group what that feels like.
Or what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in the world, but not of it. So you feel none of this petty personality, ego stuff matters. No, is that not what you're asking me? You're shaking your head. It's a place of perfect peace where you don't feel attached to outcomes, where you don't even be aware, you're not even aware of your body. If you go to that height, you're not hearing the ego chatter. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I'm gonna stop you there. Barbara, continue.
Did you think I was asking a question?
No.
No, what did you, what's the
tell
question?
me when you are in your highest meditation state, how does that feel?
Oh, well, I feel a lot more peace and relaxation. It's very, if I go into a deep one and it's lasted a little while, I get to the point where it's very pleasant. You know, it feels as though it's a pleasant experience because I feel relaxed and my thinking really, really slows down, and there's not a lot of negative thought, especially if I've been studying a lesson in the course or something like that. If I have feel that I have thoughts intruding, I try to use the lesson I'm working on, and that sort of deepens the meditation, I think, and keeps all those ego chattery thoughts at bay, so to speak.
Thank
So,
you.
it's my experience.
Lisa, wait. There's Virginia wanting over there to say something. What?
So I think I now understand I just like to add to that there is a place higher than the perfect peace and stillness. And it is a very energized, you're at peace, but you're also energized and you feel more vibrant and more alive.
Correct. Lisa?
Yes. Definitely more of a feeling of oneness, and definitely the waves do change depending on what level you go to with the meditation.
I'm asking your highest level. I'm asking your highest level. I'm not asking you all the levels, just one level.
Well, that's what they refer to as samadhi. You know, that.
Okay,
that
so explain that
bliss.
as your experience. Nobody has explained it yet.
Okay, I'll explain it from my words.
Yes, from your words.
Total peace, connection with divine, whatever that may be for you. Oneness, definitely a feeling of oneness and more empathy and compassion for self and the world. They're really hard to put words into it. Nirvana, bliss.
Okay, that's just another word for somebody.
I know, but I don't know we're just using words,
Okay.
so how do I explain it without words?
Okay,
Yeah.
Charlotte?
This deep connection to all that there is and immense love for everything.
Thank you. Irma, the reason that I'm asking everybody is because we all have different experiences. And all of us are okay with it, depending on where we're at. In my own experience, that's how come I wanted everybody's experiences. Then not one is better than the other one. I don't have consciousness of my existence. It's an awareness. It turns into pure awareness. There's nothing to describe because there's nothing there. There is an absoluteness of beingness that nothing else, that there's nothing else. There's a completeness, that's all I know of how to explain this. It's not that everything is slower or faster or higher or lower, or it is a matter of you don't see the separateness to equate it to anything. To say that something's slower or something is higher or more rhythmic or more and it's just what I'm describing is just another experience. Each one of us has experienced different things according to where we're at, and that's okay. But it just depends on what we're looking for too. A lot of people try to use meditation in order to quiet the mind down. That's not the purpose of meditation. The meditation is not to quiet your mind. It has never been that. Um, I can have a whole orchestra going in my mind and still go on meditation. When I start, and it's like, it's not about that. It's about, as somebody else said it here, being reaching the core of your beingness, reaching who you truly are in the sense of not a body, not in the sense of how do I see it according to the world and how does my body respond to it. It's more like forget one pointed meditation. Is not even that. There's not a one point either. It's just an awareness, and that's the only word that describes it is awareness. You're fully engulfed in. It's like you were in the ocean and you were in the middle of the ocean, but without point of reference as to where the ocean started or where it ended, because you're right in the middle. And that's the only way that I can explain my experience. And once again, my experience is very subjective, as is everybody else's. So to attempt to have everybody out of the question, because we are not in the same places. We are multidimensional beings, and when I'm talking about this, I'm not one point of view or one dimension. I'm talking about the full encompassing of all the dimensions and of all the multi-universes and all the earths and all that, but without it being something. Rather, it's a whole beingness than a thing, or than a thought or a feeling, or it's a beingness. It becomes like a breath, something breathing you, or without you becoming aware that you're being breathed on. You are the breath. You can only feel the expansion. That's what I know. You want to add something to it, Donna?
No, I feel that. I feel kind of a piece of what everybody was saying. But when I reach that state, I feel love. I feel loved. I feel gratitude. I feel at peace. All those things.
And the only reason for that is because you are in wholeness. There's nothing missing, nothing broken, what the Jewish people call shalom. I think this is what one of my teachers used to be a lot, Dr. Hawkins. He was in that, even in the physicality, without it being on meditation. He was an awesome dancer, and no matter which way he went, he was always in that aura of oneness, without him ever having to go into meditation again. I mean, once he had reached that state, he refused to leave it. And I think that's just that's just awesome. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and now do a small meditation. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe out. And breathe in deeply. And breathe out. Allowing peace allowing harmony, allowing joy, allowing and just allowing your body to be relaxing and releasing tension. Release, relax, let go, and let God. Allowing safety. You are safe right here, right now. Wherever you're at, right there, you're safe. Know that wherever you're at right now, peace follows you. Safety follows you. Clearness and balance follow you right now. Allowing well-beingness, clear thought, balance. Allowing gratefulness, appreciation, goodness. Allowing compassion, allowing wholeness. We are that. We are more than that. We are our breath, incoming and outgoing. Through our breath, we connect to each other. Through our breath, we connect to the multi-universes, to the multi-dimensions, to the parallel lives, to all the points of potentiality. We are there already, allowing wholeness and goodness and good health to be in every part and in every cell of our being, in our bodies, our cellular memory to be healthy. Not only our cellular memory, but all of our cells, all of our body parts, all of our body functions, calling forth the energy of perfect health into all of our body functions, into all of our emotions, well-beingness into our mental state, healing of the brain and the mind, emotions, healing of the soul, allowing restoration, regeneration, renewal, allowing oneness, knowing that we are that, claiming that we are that, claiming that which we are. We are more than that. But from this perspective, we are one with each other. We are one in unity. We are one in harmony. We are one with our families, sending healing to our family, recognizing their wholeness and allowing ourselves to ask our higher selves to recognize our wholeness if our minds won't allow us to. Allowing us to see them in wholeness, to see them in their truth, so that we may experience the truth about them. Once we can see that, they will have to show it to us, to all of our friends and family. Compassion to us, to ourselves. Allowing and sending energy to us, to each of us. First, us individually. Feel the energy moving from the top of the head, down your spine, all the way down, going down your legs, grounding into the earth, reaching the earth, coming back to your heart space, flowing and feeling that energy of love in your heart, sending it to your body, specifically your face right now. Every one of you, feel the love, unconditional love, like somebody caressing your face. Allowing peace, allowing love. Feel your heart expanding, that energy field enfolding your body like in a cocoon. Your whole heart field is enfolding your entire body, enfolding your mind, enfolding your field, your full field, your full aura, your full body, calling forth the energy of healing, of restoration, regeneration, renewal, calling that and feeling that in your body. Feel that cocoon in a beautiful pink light, a heart pink light. You are the love you've been looking for. You are the understanding you've been looking for, not outside of you, in you. You are more than enough. You are it, your wholeness. Awareness is yours. You're omniscient, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. That is your truth. Somebody needs to call you out on it because that is who you are. And the sooner that you accept this, that we accept this, the sooner that we can begin to apply in the omnipresence of who we are. Feel your field. Feel your aliveness. Feel the cocoon nurturing you, allowing love, self-love to be your truth. Right now, right here. Continue there, relaxing. Breathing deeply. Breathing deeply and begin to feel your body back. Begin to feel your body. Bringing yourself back into the room. Beginning to feel your body. Beginning to come back into your room. Coming back at the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back. Coming back. Are we back yet? Okay. Okay, so next week we will have a class at the same time. Just want to make sure that everybody's back. Seems like we all are. Lisa, are you back? Okay. Didn't mean to put you guys to sleep. Okay. Everybody okay?
It was wonderful, thanks.
Okay. Okay. We seem to have been starting late and later, and I need you guys to start at 1 o'clock. I do know sometimes we have appointments and whatever that we need to take care of. Please do work on your next question. I was positively thinking that I could go through 3 questions from everybody. A little optimistic, but we will continue. And once these 3 questions are done, then we'll come back. Yes, Penny? Cannot hear you.